My name is Martin Gendelman. I am the head of music theory and composition at Georgia Southern University. I teach music theory courses. We have a series that showcases the work that the students do, which would be more important for the composition area, which is called New Music at Southern. In that frame, we have started a project this year in collaboration with a university in Argentina, Universidad Nacional de La Plata, which is near Buenos Aires. It's one of the major universities in Argentina and in South America. They selected 2 composers from the program. I selected 2 composers from our program here, and we assigned them an ensemble in the other university, and they wrote a piece during the summer.
Yes, it was very exciting and stimulating. Since I got the chance of writing this work, my life has changed a lot.
But we were really fortunate. We actually heard about how Dr. Ginneman was in the works of getting something worked out earlier on, and it was presented to all the composition majors, kind of an idea. And then we all give the opportunity to kind of game plan and brainstorm an idea for the piece. And then I just happened to have the privilege of being selected to be a finalist for the composition positions.
It's interesting because I didn't really think about the fact that I was writing for, an ensemble in a completely different country. I kind of approached it the same way, but the only difference is you don't really get a chance to work with the performers because obviously you can't take a trip over there and see how things are going and work things out with them. So although I was approaching it about the same way, you also have to consider the fact that you aren't going to be able to work with them. So you have to compose in a way that it's not going to be overly complicated, or there are things that you have to explain.
No, I don't write for specific audience. I don't not produce my writing on specific food.
The line of the aesthetics there are closer to what's happening in Europe and different from what's happening in the US. So I wanted my students here to have an exposure, my composition students and also the performers here, to have an exposure to what's happening in other parts.
It's so important that the young composers can play music in another tongue.
And my ensemble is for alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, and bassoon, which is a pretty untraditional ensemble in terms of instrumentation. So I thought that with the opportunity to write for an unusual ensemble, that an unusual concept might be the best way to explore all 3 of those instruments.
The ensemble was predetermined and given to me, so I didn't know what I was getting, and then I knew when I was told that I have to write for flute, alto sax, and piano.
Once the pieces were ready, they were sent with the parts for the musicians, and they went back and forth via email to work on the details and to help the musicians understand what they need to do. And working on as the rehearsals started, the composers were communicating with them.
I wanted to make a musical piece that tells you a story and also exists as a being, as a creature.
The entire piece is entitled Phase Shift. It was all based on a single idea, this idea of repetition with small, ever so slight modifications. But in contrast, the idea of what Western music really emphasized, which is excessive vertical alignment. And the second half of the piece actually avoids the traditional idea of tonality and pitch.
With illusions, you've got, in the beginning, there's this sort of chaotic scrambling to reach this thing that's not real, and at the very end of it, it ends on these little cadential notes where the illusion sort of dissipates, and that's what I'm trying to get across.
What's this job about of the composer? You got to put your life in this, in the real time of your life in this. If you do not, it will always be incomplete. So that's the most important thing that I learned in this experience.
And once we're done here, we will live stream that using the resources that the university has here. And once we're done, they will start their concert in Argentina. So the idea is to have, almost a simultaneous event.